I want to quickly talk to you about Maven Learning, and this will be a review of the platform. And if you are a course creator, if you are an organizer, if you are a coach, if you are, let's say, a mentor, if you are a mastermind group organizer, would you actually go with Maven Learning this year? Let's have a conversation about that. So this will be an in-depth review of the tool. And before I actually get into the details of this discussion, I want to give you a bird's eye view of Maven Learning. Okay. So basically, one thing you need to really understand here is that when you think about Maven Learning, I want you to think about online cohort-based courses. Okay. So basically, you have a platform that has over 400 to 500 online cohort-based courses conducted by industry experts. And so that's kind of cool. Okay, so basically that means you can find almost anything on Maven. That's not a problem. Okay, your students will also find whatever they want. And also what I love about Maven is that they're constantly innovating. Just recently, 3 months ago, they actually came up with a new feature called Build with AI, which is actually a list of AI courses from AI productivity to AI creativity. So no matter your field of interest, be it long-term project management using Apache, Maven, design leadership, or AI product management, basically Maven has a course tailored to your needs, okay? Including even Java-based project courses in a Java development environment for your next Java project. So this is kind of cool because Maven offers a flexibility to students, to your students, okay, but even to yourself, okay. Now, is Maven Learning really worth it? Pretty sure yes. Okay, pretty sure yes. The company is pretty recent. They actually have been in existence since 2020. They actually went into production, I would say, production mode during COVID. And the developers behind Maven Learning actually solidify their business model during COVID. And they came out at once COVID was over, they just launched their product. Okay. And for the last 5 years, fantastic results. Okay. Really, really great results from educators, from students, and from online learning organizations. So let's talk about the fact that if you think about Maven Learning, what you have here first is that you have a diverse user base. Okay, you're not just having students, you're not just having content creators, you're not just having coaches, you're not just having organizers. You have a wide array of users. Okay, for instance, you have subject matter experts, SMEs. They are eager to share their knowledge with upcoming leaders. Okay, so think about Maven as some kind of I would say coaching network plus a mastermind group. Okay, so that's kind of important. So you have SMEs; they're actually eager to share their knowledge. You also have consultants and coaches. I think I said this to you before. So anytime you have, let's say, content organizers, course organizers, willing to share also their expertise through highly leveraged courses, Maven can be a great place to actually position yourself, okay, as a consultant or coach, or also what we have seen, what my team and I have seen through Maven is that if you are a successful C-level executive, or you want to actually learn from successful C-level executives, you can actually go to Maven and find their courses there. Of course, they make sure that those C-level executives have a history of coaching others and achieving results. And when I say C-level executives, I'm speaking about CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, CROs, CIOs, okay, chief innovation officers, chief human resource officers, okay, all those chief executive officers, chief financial officers, and so on and so forth. So this is kind of cool. And those Maven courses actually are pretty varied, and they actually focus on a variety of industries, okay, including business, technology, design, marketing, and more. So you have a lot of flexibility. Okay. Now, just one thing before I move on, please remember that Maven Learning is kind of different from Maven, the website related to the Apache Maven project, which is actually a software project management and comprehension tool. Okay. And you also have Maven Education. This is a LinkedIn page, okay, which is about a different company called Maven Education, which actually specializes in tutoring and educational services. In today's conversation, we're speaking about Maven Learning. Okay, Maven Learning. This is actually the platform that allows you to have access to a list of courses. Let's talk about the pros and cons of Maven Learning. So if you think about Maven Learning, what kind of advantages and disadvantages can you actually expect from the platform? First of all, you have a first cohort earnings potential. Okay, so basically, as an educator, you have the potential to earn up to 30 grand when you launch your first cohort. Okay, 30 grand. That's pretty good. 30 grand. That's really fantastic. Okay, and we have seen in the last 3 to 4 years students giving the platform a thumbs up. Okay, you have an average rating of 9.1 to 9.5 over 10. So basically, students appreciate the interactive and community-oriented nature of the live courses. And you have also a platform with traction. Think about it. You have a user base that goes from 15,000 to 20,000. Okay. So Maven actually is growing in terms of popularity, but also in terms of interaction. You have also visibility for Maven course creators. So if you are an educator, if you are a course creator, if you are an organizer, you will love the added exposure that you can get through Maven's course marketplace. And you also have networking opportunities, okay, because thanks to its clientele of C-level executives and founders, the Maven online learning site offers some great networking potential, okay? So this is something really, really good in terms of flexibility. So that's actually those are a few advantages you can think about if you go with Maven, right? What about the drawbacks? Because nothing is perfect in this world. So Maven actually has some pricing mystery. So pricing is not really transparent. So, and this is a big bummer in my view, because as an educator, you might feel a little bit in the dark about the Maven prices before you sign up. You have no idea how much they actually are collecting from you. And in terms of commission, they're taking a hefty 10%. So basically, this rate seems a bit steep, and it's not totally clear if this includes the sign-up fee or not. So this is something to really think about. You also have limited market reach. If you are looking to expand globally, Maven's focus on the US audience could be a bummer to you. And the platform actually could use more integrations, okay? Their LMS could definitely benefit from more features and integrations to round out the experience. So if you think about the Maven Learning this year, and for any reason you don't feel like going their way, you want to have an alternative, that's totally decent, okay? Now, if you are really looking to diversify, remember that Maven Learning isn't for you. If you are aiming rather for a lasting presence in the educational industry, because Maven's platform doesn't offer the autonomy to fully own and shape your platform to reflect your unique brand. This limitation makes it very tough to establish and customize your learning environment to your exact specifications. Also, Maven Learning is not right for you if you prefer to retain all of your earnings, okay? Because see, remember, they're charging you 10%. That's kind of huge though. I mean, 10% for each student enrolled in your course. For instance, if you have a class of 3 or 30 students, each paying $1,500, Maven's cut will be $150 per student, totaling a commission of $4,500, okay? And so that's kind of something to really think about. Now, Maven Learning is also not right for you if you're looking to launch your courses swiftly, because the platform requires you to complete a 4-week course accelerated program before you can start teaching On the other hand, if you go with other platforms, you can actually launch faster. Okay. And also, Maven Learning could not be the right tool for you if you seek flexibility in managing your educational content. I mean, Maven is kind of cool when it comes to what I said, online cohort courses. But if you want flexibility, if you want some kind of efficiency, basically this is not the right tool for you. Okay, and with Maven, your options are limited since your content resides within their ecosystem. So this is kind of akin to relying on social media for content management, right? You lack complete control and cannot tailor the platform to your preferences. So if you're looking for a Maven substitute, let's say you just realize that their online cohort course business model is not really right for you. You need to really understand that when you look for an alternative, there are some features you need to pay attention to. First of all, you want to make sure that you have a highly customizable white labeled platform. Why white label? Because white label allows you to customize your work, to customize your brand, to have more flexibility in terms of delivery, in terms of access, in terms of monetization. Okay, so you want to have this sort of flexibility, and you want to have an intuitive, fully owned learning and community platform like the one that Circle has, or Mighty Pro, or School. I mean, no, not School. Others. Okay, so the ideal platform will empower you with the complete control, facilitating a seamless user experience that keeps learners captivated and streamlines also their journey through the learning material. That's what you want. You want to have that sort of engagement from A to Z so that your students can feel engaged, can feel motivated, and most importantly, can feel empowered. Okay, because if you empower your students, you are going to be a very successful educator. So you want to also simplify the navigation within the platform, but also foster a sense of belonging. Because if you have students who feel as part of a community, that's pretty good for your teaching prospects. Okay, and because if you want to have sustained engagement and a reduced learning curve, you want to actually have that from the get-go, that sort of engagement. Okay, and you also want to understand that you want to think about scalability. Don't just think if you have 100 students. Think if you have 1,000 students or 10,000 students. Can the platform actually help you in terms of management, in terms of managing expectations? Those are things you need to really think about. Another feature you may need to think about if you want to switch from Maven Learning to, let's say, to Disco, to Circle, to Mighty Pro, to School, to Discourse, to whatever. Look primarily for an AI-powered platform, because nowadays artificial intelligence is everywhere. Okay, and for your coaching business, for your online course business, for your, let's say, for your teaching business, you want to have AI actually powering your whole operation. Okay, so this is important. I mean, and when I say AI powered, I'm not just speaking about ChatGPT. Okay, I want you to really look for a platform that gives you a native AI system that trains your knowledge base, turns this into insights, and gives you necessary recommendations to fully grow your learning products. Okay, because at the end of the day, your business model is a business. Okay, your activity is a business. This is not a charity. This is not a philanthropy. So you really need to constantly improve to be able to remain competitive, and to be able to improve. Such a tool like AI is an important tool to consider in this day and age. Okay, and so one thing you need to understand here is that you have the possibility to reach out to several platform models, from, like I said, from Circle to Mighty Pro to School to whatever you want. And if you have any question on that front, let me know in the comment section, because my team and I have done tons of research on this subject, And it's better to know more about your niche, better to know more about your target audience, your location, your psychographics, your demographics, before we can actually give you a specific recommendation in terms of AI powered platform. Okay. Because we need to know what your needs are in terms of scalability, in terms of expansion, before we can really give you. But one thing for sure, before you choose, if for any reason you do not want to use Maven anymore, or you never wanted to use them in the first place, make sure that you have primarily an AI powered platform to kind of help you out. That will be very, very helpful and very cost effective for you in the long run, especially when it comes to the learning aspect of it. Okay. Because AI allows you to constantly learn and improve your operations. Another feature that I want you to really think about when it comes to Maven Learning is to understand that when you switch to another LMS learning management software, you want to have a robust learning suite with integrated community tools. Okay. And this is important because the community tools are going to allow you to maintain engagement, to maintain motivation, and to maintain some sense of camaraderie. And you got to have that camaraderie among your students, so you can also retain them, and you can empower them too. Okay, so you want to have the integration of a robust learning curve with comprehensive community tools, ensuring that the learning experience is not just like vertical, it's horizontal. Okay, the learning experience is collaborative and engaging, but also enjoyable. So you want to have this sort of horizontal learning experience. Okay, so with Maven Learning, students learn in groups, providing a holistic approach that fosters a dynamic and supportive learning environment that goes beyond traditional educational models, right? So that's kind of cool. But you have to really understand that you want to really empower your students to actually talk to each other. Like you want to allow them or empower them to learn from each other. Okay. And also, community engagement and management features actually play a significant role in enhancing the learning experience and promoting active learner interaction, collaboration, and feedback. Okay, so that's something that's really important. So, deploying software efficiently is actually essential to ensure the success of these processes, including the management of the development cycles, repetitive operations. So, this is something important from a sustainability point of view. Okay, especially if you are going to really scale over time, you want to have this sort of process in place from the get-go. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Maven Learning. So this is an LMS that actually focuses on online cohort courses. Okay, and this was a review of the platform. I explained what Maven does. Maven courses, like very varied, very diverse courses. Okay, I give you the pros and cons, especially the lack of transparency when it comes to pricing, and the fact that they're taking a 10% cut on your revenue. And also, what you should look for, if for any reason you think Maven is not for you, you should look for an alternative. What features, what modules, what settings you should look for in an alternative. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.